Okay. Augustine, talk to us. Good evening to you.
Thank you very much, Niger Watch. Good evening, everybody. Please, I observe all protocols. I think the headline today, in fact, I listened to a short video clip somebody sent to me of what P2B said. He made it open. Probably, maybe as day goes, as we wind down towards 2027, he will more of be emboldened to say some of the things maybe somebody like me had been expecting. But well, everybody has his own style. He said it is the plan of federal government of Tinubu to make sure that he is not on the ballot. Of course, I know. Some people may not know, but I do. How? He said last year in April, they got a Supreme Court judgment sacking Abure so that Nenadi Usman, who has been acting as who has been the acting chairman, will assume office, and then they end the shenanigan of all this Papa or Arabambi and Abure. He said, we saw it. Just to recap, he, alongside the Governoti and some other people, they took the judgment, went to INEC and handed it over in hard copy. INEC acknowledged that. And let us recall, so that just by way of background, why they had to resort to making sure that they have Nenadi Usman as acting chairman of Labour Party was to enable Labour Party to field a candidate for Edo election. Let us not forget this. Because according to Alex Oti, he said they've had report that before, as election is approaching, maybe this time this one is an off-season election, INEC normally call meeting of all party chairmen, 18 of them registered or recognized, to come for a meeting, maybe briefing and all the timetable and all this. It happened that Abure came, they walked him out. 2 times he was walked out, which means INEC did not recognize Labour Party as constituting, sort of as having a chairman. And because of that, they may not be allowed to field a candidate. Because that is part of, so Alex Oti said it. So they have to do something and quickly call the stakeholders meeting or board of trustees, and they make sure that they had somebody, because it is either you have a chairman or you might be acting, but somebody should come. So they submitted Nenadi Usman's name, Mrs. Nenadi Esther Usman, former minister, as the acting chairman or caretaker committee of Labour Party. That was the condition they fulfilled so that Olumide Akpata could be the candidate of Labour Party in Edo State. So after doing that, Supreme Court now, they handed over. The Supreme Court now gave Labour Party the victory. They mean P2B and the victory they needed. Supreme Court is the last court in Nigeria. No appeal after Supreme Court. They get to INEC. For you to see, there is the contradiction I can never understand. The wayo. INEC before then did not recognize Abure. That's why they don't call Abure to a meeting. 2 times Abure came, he was walked out. But Nenadi Usman was the person they recognized. They now gave the judgment backing to show that they are no longer INEC will no longer. It's not enough for INEC to tell Abure get out of the meeting, but they now have a Supreme Court judgment. Implement it. Since April, they refused. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December 31st. P2B now will have to go to ADC. They were recognizing Abure. You see the wayo? They sacked Abure. INEC wasn't recognizing Abure because they felt Labour Party hasn't gotten a chairman. And the danger is that they won't field a candidate for Edo election. Now that that is the INEC understanding. Now that you've gotten a Supreme Court judgment, that is your legal instrument with which to enforce it. They kept it. Doing P2B turn come today, like I come today, come tomorrow. Now, when P2B left in December, they now have to tell Abure, hey, you are no longer. You see the wayo? This is what Tinubu and his God, the criminality they want to impose. That's what Peter B is saying today. But he said one thing, he said, don't worry, I will be on the ballot. You see, this is a battle. I want people to understand the extent of, what can I say? That is the extent of fraud Tinubu is perpetrating. Nigeria is under siege. People are murdered left, right, and center. Even today, I heard that there are people slaughtered in Taraba. Even with American troops on the American soldier, they are in Nigeria. They are still doing all this nonsense. Yet, what Tinubu is interested in how to keep P2B out of 2027. It's not going to work. So that is why P2B made that statement, and I know. Now, can you then imagine if P2B had formed a party of its own? Because before, I suggested it here. I said, P2B, stay in Labour Party, reform it. If you can't reform it, form a party of your own. Don't go back to PDP or with your like mind. Form a party with like minds. If P2B had formed even the best, he wouldn't be registered. If they can treat him, if this is, you see, this is the INEC. People should, see, that's why some of these people, they feel they're influential. Or maybe you are doing, this is the type of issue you should be using your platform to explain to people. INEC said they don't recognize Abure, walked him out of the meeting twice. Alex Otin and someone to their colleagues, they had to do something and get Nedadi Usman as caretaker acting or chairman of caretaker committee, which INEC will accept. Based on that, they feeded Olumide, but otherwise, Labour Party will not have a candidate for a dual election because that was the last election done. So now look at now what they are doing. Somebody is saying if P2B should go back to Labour, maybe they go and resurrect this thing again. You see, this is the issue that Nigerians should be looking into, and not to be looking at whether P2B buy orange for street or buy all that is nonsense. If you are patriotic, this is the what people should be talking about. Why should it be suddenly Abure is now untouchable? Abure is now untouchable. When P2B left, INEC started saying, Supreme Court judgment of April, what was handed to you, that same day they got the judgment, CTC. They have to walk from Supreme Court straight to INEC, say, look at it, have it. And it's not fake, it's not forged. INEC kept it in the cooler because maybe Tinubu told them, or Tinubu told them that APC would make sure that P2B. See, this is why now this is the area. That's why sometimes if I'm bringing a, if I'm looking at things, I look at it dispassionately. If you want to win the World Cup, you should be praying that Brazil should be part of the year. I remember at University of Lagos when they taught us a probability, conditional probability and unconditional probability. We did it as statistics in class. Conditional probability is you won because so person did not participate. Unconditional means that irrespective of who participates, you won. One Dr. Esho from Abeokuta who taught us, I think he's late now, he said, if a small country like Ivory Coast should win a World Cup, even with Brazil, Italy, all these things are, he said that is unconditional because the expectees are the superpowers. But Ivory Coast has not been to World Cup then. They were able to defeat everybody and win it. But if Brazil didn't come, Italy, Germany, all this Argentina, maybe England, Spain, they are not there. You're just competing with Somalia, Namibia, then you win and you call it World Cup. That is conditional. So what they want to do is to make sure, later they say APC, floor Labour Party, P2B didn't accept. That's why they've started flying the news. Go and they say VP from Atiku. I want Nigeria to see the danger of what this type of wicked, vicious politics that APC and Tinubu is playing. They felt that they want to pocket everybody, but that is by the way. So I have to highlight this so that people will understand the danger ahead and what should be done about it. So that apart from electronic transmission, I think I and Jonathan here was saying, let us be logical. If you feel you've gotten a 31 governors, everything House of Reps, you are in your pocket. You have out of 109 senators, you may have 60. Everything, yes, you are covered. Every chairman is APC. Why are you then afraid of electronic transmission of results in real time, in which uploaded result on the IREF will be the primary source of collation and not even the from EC8A? Why are you afraid? So you see, though we come here to, discuss these things, I believe in, if you want to say, that is, bring logic to what you want to say so that people will be convinced. So what they are trying to do to P2B just to make sure that this, even what is going on in ADC, I heard that Atiku is shopping. Let Nigerians, let me even face, let's even see it this way. The people that felt that power should be rotating 8 years south, 8 years north, why is Atiku coming out to contest now? Why is somebody from the north, at least he's the only person from the north, Tambuwa, Kwakwanso is even settling for vice. That is as far as he's going. Even in his NNPP, he want to be vice to somebody. Because they know is the South should have it. This is the peace. What has been given Nigeria, let's just say gentleman's agreement. Why is Atiku coming? To make sure that if that P2B, and P2B has been vice to Atiku. You see the way it happens, 2019. A person that has been vice to you now want to contest. You now want to bring the brigandage you did in PDP that made Wike to say, okay, Wike played the chicken roll. If I can't use my mouth to pick it up, I use my leg to scatter it. That is what happened to PDP. That is what Atiku is bringing. So why I'm sounding all this is that so that people should know, if you want to analyze politics, you have this at the back of your mind. But like P2B said, he will contest. He will be on the ballot. How that will, I haven't disclosed anything to me, but I know there are 18 parties. It's not out of place. He can still move. I don't care. As long as P2B is on the ballot, that is when I will know that yes, I can mobilize people to vote. Apart from that, no, we can't be going the one-way traffic. I believe in, I don't like all these type of criminal tendencies. That was why when I was criticizing VDM yesterday, I told him, I said, look, listen, ask yourself what the Englishman will always say. Where does he leave us? When you've taken a decision about your life, you will ask, this decision I'm taking, am I going forward with it or backwards? Just anything you want to decide for yourself in life, this is what you want to do. You ask yourself, where does this leave me? So if you analyze, do this, do that, P2B should copy maybe Tinubu, they are doing a city boy, city girl, bringing money, all these things. Make no mistake about it. That money is not to be Cubana's money. They want to use them to launder money. They want to use them to launder money. It's as simple as that. But let it just be that they're doing it in the East. Why is this? Why is there no city boy in Southwest? Why is there no city boys movement in the middle belt? Are they not important? Even in the South, why only the Southeast? Just to make sure that they intimidate to be better. That is dead on arrival. Which brings me again to something that we need to look into. You see, in this country, what people tend to forget is this. We tend to take politics or discuss politics as if it's textbook. Yes, it is good. But when you want to do it, put the Nigerian context into it. Always say this is Nigeria, the way we do things. Because if it's the way we play politics here that is being played all over the world, it means that all over the world will be like Nigeria. And if Nigeria is doing it the way all over the world are doing it, then Nigeria will be like all over the world. It's a common sense question. It's logical. We don't do things the way it should be. Now look at in a year, like what Jonathan pointed out. I think I saw it one. I've seen somebody mention it. 38 million naira. Federal Ministry of Health. Federal Ministry of Health controls not less than 37 teaching hospitals or federal medical center because every state must have a federal hospital. A state like Lagos will have more. Apart from Lut, there are psychiatric hospitals. Those are federal, because it's former capital. Abuja will have more than one. National hospital and the other ones. But every state must have one federal hospital. You go to Benin, UBTH is federal. You go to Calabar, UCTH, Ibadan, University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital. The same thing with Enugu, UNTH. Nnamdi Azikiwe for Oka, Obafemi Awolowo Teaching Hospital for Osun State, UCH for Ibadan. Or what is the one in the Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta for Ogun State. So there are like this. You gave them 38 million for capital project, which means
Dr.
1 million.
Yes. You see that one? I'm telling you that even up to this very second that I'm talking, I still they believe say na typographic error.
Abio. No. I've seen somebody say 38. No. You know, the thing is that
Mr.
Jonathan.
Mr.
Jonathan.
Please, Dr. CM, you see everything you're saying, right? Everything you're saying right now. I don't know about every other panelist here. I'm so much enjoying myself. You are just giving information on point from beginning, and I just continue, please.
Okay.
And Mr. Jonathan,
1 minute left, sir.
Mr. Okay. Please, one extra minute.
Okay. Thank you. So this okay. Thank you, Niger Watch. You see, I want us to follow because that is the meaning of Federal Ministry of Health. You control only the teaching hospitals for those that have former university or Federal Medical Center. So 36 for 36 states. Some may have, Lagos may have more than one. Then because psychiatric hospital Yaba is federal. Orthopedic hospital at Iwobi is also federal. Just like orthopedic hospital in Enugu. So let me just say, let me just use 111 per each. So are you now saying that 38 million for this? Maybe it go 1 million for one system, and that is the reason why the other time there's no cotton wool. I mean, is it cotton wool? There's no bandage. This is exactly what Nigerians should be occupying our mind. How can Federal Health Center in a year? In fact, if you give one of them one teaching hospital, 200 million is too small. One teaching hospital, 200 million naira. In fact, it should be maybe 5 billion each one every year. So because this is the hospital where people go to. That's why you go to loot. In those days, you go to loot at Idiaraba. People will be spraying woman's wrapper on the floor and be sleeping there. What I'm saying, God be my witness. People can go there and check. When I saw the picture, I shocked. This is Federal Teaching Hospital established 1962, and this is how it is. Now, this is the type of government we are running. That's why P2B is saying that when he comes in, he said there is nothing, China did not do anything. Nigeria was better than China before. As at 1995, during Abacha's time, up till 1990, Nigeria was better than China. How come China was just 1 decade, maybe between 2008 to 2018, people started hearing China. You see, P2B said what China did was to put money in education, health, and infrastructure. He said that's all. And you combat security. That's all you need. That is all you need to come out of third world this thing. Nigeria, we don't have it. 38 million naira for the whole country for capital project. Tell me, can this thing, how many bags of cement can you buy with this? Even if you want to repair some work, that is why you get there. You see the mattress, torn, everything. It's a shame, really. Please, whoever is listening, let us try. People like P2B comes once in a blue moon. If this man gets in, that is when we will now see a semblance, even if it's only for 4 years. At least people will hear that, yes. Some people will say, I went to the hospital, I saw that they are buying new mattress. It's because they don't give them money. They may budget 500 billion for Ministry of Health, but they will release 38 million. What of the rest? What of the rest? If you go, this is not their budget, but this is how much that was released. Go and ask any chief medical director of teaching hospitals. That is the nonsense Nigeria is facing. The decadence is beyond comprehension. So please, when some of these things that are of paramount importance to the public, we should hammer it and then sing it like electronic transmission of results. Let me stop here for now. Thank you, Niger Watch.
Dr. CM.
Yes, please. Yes.
But they spent 120 million on Bakwet.
You see, it's painful. Okay. So, Madam Patricia, do you know that UBTH in Benin should be the referral? That is any disease, whether from Auchio or from Uromi, they say carry and go. Because that is where you see specialists. When you go there, they will tell you they don't go and buy bandage, go and buy cotton wool. You never buy needle because they don't have money. It's from Federal Ministry of Health. That is the problem we are facing. Let people understand.
Okay. That was a good information, Garcia.